Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
I am Reverend Rita. We are at CSL, or Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai, and I don't have my mic.
Thank you. I better breathe again. Okay, let's breathe together. There's a lot of amazing energy in this room today, and I'm just grateful to be here and grateful for all of you to take time out of your day to take care of yourself by taking care of your spiritual self. So thank you, and choosing us to do that. So thank you for being here. And again, I'm Reverend Rita. That's Reverend Patrick behind me, holding the flowers from Loya, I presume. Where is Loya? Stephanie and Loya, yes. And Amy over there, our musicians today. Yay. And Rob back there on the, we live stream every day, so he's back there on the live stream. And very wonderfully bringing it into the global community. And also I want to acknowledge Michael Fox back there, who's doing our sound today. So thank you everyone for serving us today. So I'm going to turn the time over right now to, oh wait, there's one more thing. Where is she? Someone has a birthday today. And I just want to say it because it's her birthday today. It's Carla Janae, so make sure to give her a big hug today.
And
right?
this is highly irregular, but I think we should just sing her happy
Oh,
birthday.
wow.
Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carla. Happy birthday to you.
And thank you for spending your birthday here. All right, so I'm going to turn the time over to Reverend Patrick. Michelle LeMay is not here today to do our announcement. She had something she had to do, so Patrick is now here doing the announcement.
I have my own. Thank you. I'm free. So, aloha everyone. Okay, I will make these fun and short because we have a lot to do in our activities. So we have a food drive going on. You probably noticed right when we walked in. The only thing I'm going to add to the food drive, make sure that they have not expired and that it's all, you know, and nothing from your refrigerator, basically, is what we're saying. And so if you, and if somebody could volunteer that lives in Kauai or around, that we can take that over to the food bank, empty it off, and then bring it back. So that's, you can see me about that. There's still time to put an ornament on our tree. Doesn't our tree look wonderful? Yeah. And we've been getting them from Hello Live Streaming. We've been getting Sherry and Tom are out there. They sent theirs, and oh my gosh, Katie and Patrick, it's just amazing the kind of support that we are having from all over this wonderful globe. We have our bookstore and some wonderful, wonderful gift ideas. So please see Stephanie. Stephanie's over there. She'll help you in the bookstore. Because we didn't have enough going on here, we're having a holiday mini fair next Sunday. Oh, Lordy. We're having one, so please see wherever Roseanne Jones will take care of you. Rita and Patrick have nothing to do with that, except, and she'll set you up, so right afterwards. It's next week. It could be really very, very quick and fun for last minute gifts. So that's good. Then we have our annual holiday caroling party at the Revs house. And the only way you'll find out where we live is if you sign up on the sign-up sheet for the caroling. The thought of me just plastering our address out, I don't know. I mean, we're free here, but no. So just sign up over there. We'll let you know what's happening. We're going to have a little dessert. We're going to go up in Kaua'i and just, we have a perfect little place to go caroling and make everybody happy for the holidays. And if that wasn't enough, Christmas Eve, if you were around, have a beautiful, beautiful Christmas Eve service, candlelight, beautiful music with Michael and Carrie, and Rita will do her annual Holy Night. So she's going to be rocking with that. Well, I don't know if rocking is the appropriate word. But, and then New Year's Eve, we're going to have an angel walk at 5 o'clock. And that's just to set the intentions for the year and then go off.
4 or 5?
At 4. It's in your program as well. But there is something I wanted to announce that's new because we don't have enough going on. I set an intention when we opened up this wonderful, wonderful center that we would turn to cinema night and the spiritual cinema night. And flat screen TV was put in the list for Santa Claus, and it is now, what date is this?
The 13th.
The 13th. So I've been feverishly writing Spirit Santa Claus, and it hasn't arrived yet, but faith is not waiting to see it. Faith is doing it before that and trusting. So, on Friday the 18th at 6:30, please join us for It's a Wonderful Life, right here at CSL Kauai, to celebrate our new flat screen television. And we will have that all year round. I bet you'll come just to see how well, if we can manifest it, yes.
So it says Friday the
Yeah.
18th?
Friday the 18th, yes. So there you go. And a couple of teasers, we're going to stay with that, is that Marion, who just spoke, raised her hand, she's doing a wonderful Tai Chi dance workshop in January 22nd. She's here. You can get all of the details from her. And I like what one of her log lines is, come with a beginner's mind and leave with an open heart.
Very good.
Which is wonderful, a joyful open heart. And then we also have a lot more going on. We have Wisdom Night in February, and that's with Michael and Carrie, and Michael's back there if you want to know anything about that. So I think that is it. So a lot going on. I'm so glad we're here during the holidays. I know a lot of times people really need a place to really just land for the holidays, and if you're here, please land with us. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Michelle always gets a clap, but don't worry about it. Just saying.
It's so transparent, but that's why I love him. Okay. Well, in case you didn't know, we're married. That's right. You that are new here. So this is our time of centering and quieting our mind, and I'm going to invite up Malia Reed, who is one of our practitioners in training, and she's going to lead us in our meditation.
Thank you, Rita. I'd like to invite everyone to take some deep breaths and just fill up your tummy on the inhale. And on the exhale, pulling the belly into the navel point. Inhaling deeply. Holding a few seconds at that top of that inhale. Exhaling completely. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and to continue breathing like this. Thank you. I'm going to read today from Practicing the Presence by Joel Goldsmith. This is one of our books for the practitioner program. And I was reading this the other night and I just loved it, so I want to share it with everyone. God is the activity and the law of my mind, and I consciously accept that. I am not subject to man-made law. I am subject only to grace. Thy grace is sufficient for me. God is the activity and law of my being, and I consciously accept that I am not subject to man-made laws. I am subject only to grace. Thy grace is sufficient for me. Enjoy your quiet time. Thank you. staying in this wonderful, relaxing place. I'd like to read the quote again. Just, if you want to just keep your eyes closed during this time, I'd also like to invite everyone here to slightly turn up the sides of your mouth a little bit. When you open your eyes, everybody will be smiling. Okay. Joel Goldsmith again. God is the activity and law of my being, and I consciously accept that. I am not subject to man-made law. I am subject only to grace. Thy grace is sufficient for me. Taking your time, slowly coming back to this room, getting ready for our beautiful service. What I know is there's only one God and one presence in the universe, and it's right here, right now. We don't have to move Godward, because we're already there. We're already one with God. Everybody in this room is one with this love that I call God. It's moving in and through every one of us. It's everywhere. It's in this building. It's on this island. It's on all the people. It's in all the states and all the universes everywhere. And this presence is here for us, and it's in us. And when we use this power, we use it from us. It comes from us and out into the world. And it is so powerful that we could create anything we want. And so today what's happening here is only love and celebration and peace and happiness and joy and just this feeling of sunshine, and just knowing that when we go out into the world that we share this with everyone we meet. We are a light, and we know how to turn the sides of our mouths up gently so that everybody can see how happy and what light beings we are. And I am eternally grateful for this service today, that it's full of love and light and learning and sunshine and great expectancy of all that's happening here right now in this moment. I am eternally grateful. I release it to the law, and as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take a moment. Thank you, Malia, first, because there's nothing more like touch and amazing for a teacher than to see a student just setting them free and just seeing them shine and excel and just blossom and bloom and be such a high consciousness. And I just grateful. Thank you, Malia. That was amazing. So we're going to just take a moment to light our peace candle for the remainder of the service, to know that peace begins with us, and this service is that place that we're starting from, that peaceful, amazing place of energy. So, yeah, and peace doesn't have to be quiet. It can be loud. So, welcome again to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. If you just walked in, I'm not sure if anybody came, hi, back there. If you just came in, you don't know who I am, I'm Reverend Rita, this is Reverend Patrick, and this is Jeremy and Amy Brown, and they're also married. They would, every once in a while I have to say that. So, and then, well, I won't go through all that again.
So welcome, though, everyone. I just wanted to remind us of something about peace. Wednesday night, we had a wonderful, wonderful peace circle here, better known as the Peace and Love Circle here. And we had 40 just wonderful spirit souls just claiming peace for this planet. And so I just wanted to say that we're continuing that whole peace movement, as it were.
So if you are new to Science of Mind and you don't, and Centers for Spiritual Living, and you don't know what we believe, I like to say it every Sunday, and it just reminds all of us why we're here. And that is to know that we are the divine expression of the one power, each of us uniquely expressing that from that one source, as Malia said so beautifully in her treatment. That's who we are, and that's what we're letting out in every single solitary moment. And we impress this amazing power called the law. We call it the law. It's an energy field that just takes the impress of our thoughts and makes our life so. So as we think, so we are. And the best way to think is from that highest place. So that's the goal, is to go back to that highest place, even when things maybe don't look that great in the world of form. We can still think from that place, and things shift. They shift because of our perception of them. So I'm knowing that for each of us here today. So welcome again.
Yes. And who is here for the very first time? You cannot hide from us because I know who you are. We have a lot of new. Okay, so just so you'll know, just like Natalie, I knew your name before you and Paul. How I know that, we also know something about all of you that we want to share with everyone. Is that okay? Yeah. The smile went to fear. They were like, oh, what do you know? So shall we all just kind of let them know what we know about them? Would that be okay? Okay, good. You are magnificent! And oh, what a breath, what a nice relieving breath that was. It's like, oh, that! And the reason we know that about you is because we know that about ourselves. There is no way we can know that about someone else. We can't love anyone else unless we love ourselves. We can't know that about you unless we know it about ourselves. So let's all say it together, shall we? I am magnificent. Now look to your left or to right and tell somebody they're magnificent. It's body. Just you are magnificent.
Love you, brother. Rob, you are magnificent.
All right. And you are that's it. That's all. You just have to carry that magnificence with you all day long. That's all there's to it. Okay, so are you ready to open this up like we haven't already with some wonderful music with Jeremy and Amy? Yeah. Why don't you stand and get some body movement? Sorry.
All right. So how's everybody doing? You guys good? You guys shining? You guys are pretty shiny.
I think it's...
All right, let's let that out in our voices. So
yes.
Go ahead, clear your throats, do something. Yeah, I love it. So on the program, we kind of tuned up this arrangement a little bit. So where you see opening song, Jeremy and Amy Brown, words and music, shine. What we're going to do is we're going to sing it all the way through, and we're going to skip that part where it says repeat from the top. We're just going to keep going, and we're not going to slow it down. We're just going to keep going right through. It says the same tempo all the way through, all the way to the bottom. Shine, 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 and then we're going to do it again. Okay? Okay. So we're just going to go straight through. If it's in parentheses, ignore it.
You have that down.
Yeah, and follow us. 1, 2. Shine, 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 shine your light. You are light, so let it shine, shine, shine. Golden light, rainbow light, black and white, let it shine, shine, shine. So let your voice, let your radiance, better yet give freely, let it shine, shine, shine. Freedom is, freedom is, freedom is inside, so let it shine, shine, shine. If your voice has been stored inside, let your light see my light, let it shine, shine, shine. Shining is your birthright, so let it shine, shine, shine. Keep on shining. Shine, shine, shine. Shine your light. Put your hands together. My light, so let it shine, shine, shine. Golden light, rainbow light, black and white, let it shine, shine, shine. In your voice, let your radiance, better yet give it freely, let it shine, shine, shine. shine, let it shine, shine, shine. Shining is your birthright, so let it shine, shine, shine.
I neglected to mention something that I want to mention. So, as you're gazing on this beautiful, colorful, amazing painting, someone is shining their light today. It's Judy Burton. She's there in the turquoise teal shirt. She just said, I just want to share my artwork today. So there she is. Thank you for sharing it with us. All right, so I will turn the time over now to Reverend Patrick. He has something for us.
Yes. Okay, I was going to use this reading on Wednesday, but Spirit kind of moved me another direction, and I went with it, so I didn't use it. So I thought, what an opportunity today that I could use this reading. And it's interesting, I saw who wrote it, and it's from a society called the Codependent Society. Never knew that there was an entire society. I knew I was one, but I had no idea that we had an entire society that has these daily words. So here we go. So it was all about peace. Anxiety is often our first reaction to conflict, problems, or even our own fears. In those moments, detaching and getting peaceful may seem disloyal or apathetic. We think, if I really care, I'll worry. If this is really important to me, I must stay upset. Have you ever been there? We convince ourselves that outcomes will be positively affected by the amount of time we spend worrying. Our best problem-solving resource is peace. Solutions arise easily and naturally out of a peaceful state. Often fear and anxiety block solutions. Anxiety gives power to the problems around us, not the solution. It does not help to harbor turmoil. They repeat, it does not. Peace is available if we choose it. In spite of the chaos and unsolved problems, all is well. Things will work out. We can surround ourselves with resources of the universe: water, earth, a sunset, a walk, a prayer, a friend. We can relax and feel peace. Today I will let go of my need to stay in turmoil. I will cultivate peace and trust that timely solutions and goodness will arise naturally and harmoniously out of the wellspring of peace. Doesn't that just take all the burden away? It's going to be all right, everyone. That's the message. That we have a support, we have a universal support that doesn't care what is appearing out there, because it is alive, and it is the actual creation of life itself in here. So, I have an affirmation for us to do together, and then we will go into spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of prayer. What that is it's, I like to sometimes talk about that, because we can come up here and we can just start doing these prayers, and I don't want it to just feel like it's some rote thing that we do here. Spiritual mind treatment is using the very power, the very being, the very light that we are. And it's not about the words that have the power. It is the power of the word, which is God, which is anything you want to call it. And it doesn't care what you call it. It is everything. So that's the relief we get when we do spiritual mind treatment. We are actually taking that power, that law, and we are directing it.
It's alive.
And all is well in the world, no matter what. You see, I'll just let everyone know something about me. I've been on this island entirely too long to not be worried about anything, because that was Spirit speaking, by the way, just then. And he is very much correct. It is alive. and living within each and every one of us. I like that. So let's do a little treatment, a little affirmation together. I will consciously let go and let God. I will consciously let go and let God. One more time. I will consciously let go and let God. So coming from that place of power, of just getting out of the way, or as Emerson says, getting your bloated nothingness out of the way and allowing this thing called life to work through and as us. So close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Leave them wide open if it feels comfortable. Because what I know is that being right here with Spirit, as life, is the most comfort I have ever felt in my life. And what I know is that this power, this energy, I can rely on, I can trust it because I am it. And I am not alone with this. I am one with each and every one of you. I am one with this planet, one with this thing called life. I am one. There is no such thing as separation. So what I know in this unborn moment, that something grand is happening. Something fantastic, something magnificent is happening right here. And that is this thing called life moving through every thought, every moment, every breath. I am, you are the breath of God, the breath of good, the breath of life. And that is something to celebrate. We come here to celebrate the truth of who and what we are at all times. There is no problem, there is no chaos that is too big for the mind of God. The mind of God is where it all began, and that is where it will continue. And that is who each and every one of us are, and we are love. 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 And within that place of love, all things are possible, and all things are. So I celebrate this gathering, I celebrate this time together. I celebrate this idea in the mind of God that created each and every one of us from itself, as itself. And I know that we have been around since the beginning of time because I was there and when they said, I have an idea, when this whole idea of spirit just moved through and as us. So now I just end the separation and celebrate the oneness. The oneness. My breath is your breath, and your breath is my breath. So knowing that, it's time to say mahalo. Mahalo from the highest, from the deepest place of awareness, the deepest place of consciousness. As together we say, with this power backing us as us, we say, and so it is. Yeah. We're done. Oh, that is just wonderful. So now, yeah, let's just land for a minute. And when we land, we can take it into some special music. I don't know why we call it special, because it's always special. And that's why. Special, special, special music. There you go. Namaste.
So Amy suggested we do this song. And we have this song on our CD. And you know, inspiration and meditative moments can come anytime. And I've been aware that lifting our consciousness has been part of the theme this month and a direction for the center. And I'm really grateful. We are really grateful to be a part of this center in this musical way, and know all of you, so thank you so much. And I believe everyone is an artist, whether you paint or create music, or you're an artist when you grow your garden or speak with people. It's all art. So this piece of inspiration came during my washing of the dishes. So, yeah, that's right. All right, so lifting consciousness.
What are you doing?
You know, in the spirit of love and unity, I would like to invite Brother Michael up here to play a little percussion with us, if you don't mind. Love is the solution. Love is the solution, baby. Love is the solution. Love is the solution, baby. Love is the solution. Love is the solution, baby. Love is the solution. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sharing our hearts and our mind, lifting consciousness all the time. Here we are, sharing our hearts and our mind, lifting consciousness all the time, lifting consciousness all the time. Just the road of creation, where I can get vibration. Love is the solution to the only complication. Let's get opportunity, in the community. Open up and you and see, we consecrated unity. Here we are, sharing our hearts. Solution, baby.
I remember when I first heard that song, such a perfect new thought song, which brings me to next year we've set the intention to create a CD from this island from our singers, and we're going to be working on that and putting some of these songs out into the world and saying, wow, this is the way we think here in Kauai.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really great. It's just going to be New Thought Songs from Kauai. So the topic today is about our light and shining our light and not shining our light. Not shining our light. Sometimes we don't shine our light. And I don't know why. It's there. I came from a school, my teacher and my mentor taught us that we are God. There was no in-between. Not all centers for spiritual living teach that, but we are like we call ourselves the rebels, kind of, sometimes, because we really actually believe we are God and that you are God, that there actually is no separation. We don't always practice it because we don't always know it. We say it, but Emma Curtis Hopkins once said to one of her students, stop saying I am God, and just go out and live it instead. So it's not about the words, it's about living from that space. And if we can create within ourselves the time and effort that it takes, which is the time in solitude, the time in quiet, the time in reading and studying and uplifting ourselves with amazing things, we can come to that place of knowing that there is no separation and that all the things in the world that might seem not right or painful or whatever they are is just a cry out to remember who we truly are. So that's the place that we need to come from. And even like I always say, even in the midst of everything, if we'll just do that, if we'll just go back there and talk to ourselves that way and open up, it's a reciprocal universe. The more we open up, the more it pours through us. And so the song Lifting Consciousness is so perfect because that's what we're doing. We're lifting our consciousness here higher and higher and higher into that place until we really know, not just believe it, but we really know that there is no separation because we don't even think about it anymore. That's our default setting. That's what I want. I want that to be my default setting. So today I celebrated my 2000 blog. I have to share that with you on this day of sharing our light. I started my blog a long time ago, however many 2,000 days ago but because a friend was in crisis, and I used to send him a treatment every night, and before I went to bed. And after I was done doing that, because the time was just like, okay, we don't need to do this anymore. It's okay, everything's good, and our consciousness was lifted to a place where we knew everything was going to be all right. So I stopped doing that, and then I couldn't stop writing. So I started writing again, and I just kept writing and writing until here I am at day 2000. So, but what is that? We're like Jeremy said, we all have something inside of us to give. It doesn't have to be writing. It doesn't have to be singing. It can be anything. A couple of nights ago, I had an amazing lasagna cooked by that lady back there, Malia, and it was so filled with God, and I'm still tasting it right now. And it was so perfect. Last weekend, I saw Melissa up on a stage, just like pumping her stuff out, her presence, her goddess, out into song, and it was just amazing. Last night, I was at Kaua'i Sings. Did anybody there last night? Deborah was there. Yeah, and Andriello was there. Oh my God, it was like such a perfect thing. And the whole topic was peace. And they were knowing peace, even though with the things going on in the world, they were saying, we're going to sing out now. We're going to sing about peace because we know that peace is, and we're coming from that place. And it was like the most amazing night. And that's what Patrick was talking about before. We got to start. We can't wait for it to happen. We can't. It's the invisibility passes into visibility by our faith in it. It's an Ernest Holmes quote that I picked up yesterday. Invisibility passes into visibility by our faith in it. It doesn't happen the other way around. So when we're in crisis, we think it's gone. We think that there is no light, there is nothing happening, or this wouldn't keep happening again. But that's when we can do our best work. And let's just take a moment to no peace for that situation. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. You go to that place immediately. And it makes a difference when just one of us does it. It lifts this planet. What we did Wednesday night here lifted the whole planet. I know that. We're lifting the whole planet right now. So, like Patrick read in this thing, it doesn't help to put out more, I'm sorry for you, that kind of thing, and oh my God, and da-da-da-da-da, that just brings it all down. And yet that doesn't mean we're not compassionate. We are compassionate. We are empathetic. We do lift up the fallen and hold them in our arms when they're crying and say, oh my God, I'm sorry you had to experience this. I love you. Do you know who you are? But not, oh my God. Oh. All right, you see the difference? we don't teach sympathy in this. It's not what we teach here. Anyway, so are you hiding your light under a bushel? In Matthew, it wrote, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others. Let your light shine before others. We're the presence. We're God expressing. We're that light. So wherever we're like holding it back in our life, if we are at all, it's time to let it out now, more than ever. I don't care what you're experiencing. Go talk to somebody, pray with somebody if you need to, but let your light out because it's going to heal everything in your life and in the planet's life. So what does that look like, letting your light out? What does it look like? It might just look like going out and just looking at the ocean and remembering that that's me. I looked at a star this morning when I woke up. I don't know if it was the star of Venus. What's that one that's really bright? Is it Venus? Oh, Venus? Yeah, I just woke up out of my bed and I stood up and it was right there. And I remembered that the same power that made that star is my power. I am that star. I am not any darker than that star. I am bright as that star. The same energy that made that star made you, made me. We are that energy. We were there, like Patrick said, when it all started. It's like an amazing thing to contemplate and to meditate on and to remember and then to let it out in which, because each of you are doing it like individually in your own way. You might be doing it through music. You might be doing it through raising your children. You might be doing it through, loving a friend. You might be doing it through planting your garden, like Jeremy said, or singing, or whatever it is, writing, like I said before. Whatever it is, whatever's yours to do, you're the only one that can do it the way you do it. I read this little thing, and I'm going to close with it. It was, there are 23,000 varieties of orchids alone.
Hmm.
Now that's diversity. That's what it says. Revel in your special way of being and becoming. No one else is you, just the way you are. The universe needs the way you show up to be fully expressed.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
No one else is you, and it's in capital letters, just the way you are. The universe needs the way you show up to be fully expressed. This is a creative force. It runs through in everything from a flower, from 23,000 orchids, to your cells in your body, to every part of your mind, to every part of creation, through that ocean, through everything. And it needs every single thing to be expressed. Meditate on that one. I love you. Namaste. I want to turn the time over to my beautiful husband.
It's like meditative, wasn't it? Just wow. The truth is so comforting. Not Rita's truth or the truth is so comforting. I wanted to add another, I saw some light this weekend, is our Michelle, who wasn't here, that I had to take off. She really stepped out, and Isha, who isn't here as well, and really stepped out and did her first belly dancing performance. And what's so great about that, we weren't able to make it, that wasn't the great part. What was so great about watching it on video is that I was telling Ron that she just opened up and said, here I am. And it can just be expressed in so many ways. And I was so proud of her, like a father going, oh my God, there she is. And it had nothing to do, interestingly enough, with all the dancing and all the, I mean, you know, the people in the audience probably didn't feel that. But when I was watching it from just this pure light shining in all of these performers. And I thought, that's what it's about. It's about daring to be vulnerable. Daring to be vulnerable. So, someone said, when you get on a mission, I've been on kind of a forgiveness mission, if some of you know me. Not so much all for myself, but every once in a while a calling on top of a calling comes. And something is calling me, and it has since the day I arrived on this island. As I stayed in the Hale, and a refugee, I think, is the one over by Lidgate, and getting very, very definite messages that forgiveness is the key. That forgiveness is the answer. The forgiveness is what we've all been looking for. And so every day I keep saying, you know, you're kind of blabbing about the forgiveness every day, you know. You're bringing the party down, you know. And I'm thinking, so what? Because here's the deal. There is something calling me from that deepest place of my being. And someone asked me the other night, they said, I want to talk to you about your positive stuff. So then I was like, took my breathe. Because you can always tell when I need to talk to you about your positive stuff. It probably isn't, love it. You know. So, and they do love it, and I do get it. I do get that when you're in pain, that the last thing sometimes you want to hear about is, life is wonderful. And you're sitting there going, but no, it isn't. And so she said to me, how do you, Patrick, when things happen and things aren't going the way we want, and I can't forgive, how do you do it? Because it's not easy. So I breathed again. And I said, I never said it was easy. I said it was a necessity. And when I heard that from my being, no one said it was going to be easy. It can be. It's a necessity. For me, forgiveness is a necessity. Which brings me to my story of the day. There you go. I kind of took you in a little bit. I know. It's called vulnerability. We're not going to get out of it. I'm not going to get out of it. If I want to live life to the fullest, I have to forgive everything, everyone, and ending with me and beginning with me. I got to give myself a break. And you have to give yourself a break too if you choose. So that brings me to my story of the day. Johnny Cash. You all know Johnny Cash? Yeah. Well, I grew up in kind of the Western, not town, but my mother and my father loved Western music. Not country, because they'll let you know there's a difference. Country is not Western. And my mother especially, God bless her little soul, she loved honky tonk. And she loved Johnny Cash. And if I had to hear one more Folsom Prison, I was going to just love you, Mom. And to quote my mom, she said, why do you not like this music? It is certainly better than the crap you're listening to. My mother was a spiritual woman. And here's the deal about Johnny Cash. So, I was listening to him, and I never liked Western music because it always depressed me. You know, my broken heart, and I was like, oh my God. You know, let me jump already. And so But now I appreciate it. So anyway, I'm like have this whole talk plan, and then I come into Rita, and I'm like, hello, Rita. You know, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Enjoy me. You know, and then she's looking at me like, how do I run the center alone? And then I said, and then I'm in the car, and she's over at Hoku, and I'm in the car, and I hear Johnny on the radio. And we all know this song, A Boy Named Sue. And I listened to it, and I said, my whole talk is gone. This was so metaphorical that I couldn't even believe that I was going to be using it today because Johnny gave me the perfect talk. A boy named Sue, okay, if you don't know the story, it's pitiful. But made a lot of money. And here it goes. There's this little baby. Well, he said he's 3, which doesn't make any sense, but I digress. So what happened was his daddy left him when he was 3, with just his mama. And he left him just with a guitar and an empty bottle of booze. I love this. There's a whole thing to my talk. So here's the deal. So he runs out on his family, right? But the deal is that he runs out on, but not before naming his son Sue. How do you do? So here's the deal about that. So he leaves them with this name Sue. Now, you might ask yourself, because I did, what kind of mother would have left that with their child and didn't change it? But then we wouldn't have a song called Sue. Okay, so here's what I know about it. And forgiveness is coming in this. You can trust me on this. So he leaves, and his son goes through living hell. There's no light in this boy named Sue's life at all. I mean, he goes to school, you know, what's your name, Patrick? Sue. Then everybody beats him up, and he has to go through. So he learns how to get really, really strong, right? So he starts beating everybody else up. Isn't that spiritual? So what he's done is he's lived an entire life, and his only mission in life, his only goal from being called Sue is to find the miserable snake that named him Sue and kill him. Yeah. Kill him. So that's what he did with his whole life. Have you ever been there? Held on to a story so long. Held on to something so long. Called on that name. It may be Sue. It may be poverty. It may be they done me wrong. It may be any of that. But it's still the name. So finally he finds his dad. Because he travels from bar to bar, honky-tonk to honky-tonk, tavern, wetting his whistle with whiskey. Till he walks in and he sees the mangy snake that named him Sue. So he stands there, he recognizes it from that worn-out picture that his mama cried over and wasted all of her life on, by the way, because she wouldn't let go of that either. And so he screams out, what? How do you do? My name is Sue, Daddy. And they start fighting and scrapping on the floor, and they start doing all this stuff. And then they pull out their guns. Little music, please. Why'd you name me Sue, Dad? Pa in those days. And this is what he said. Son, this world is rough. And if a man's got to make it, he's got to be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you the name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's the name that helped to make you strong. Oh, all this time he was holding the grudge on a daddy that did it so he would be strong. But there's more. This is what I want to say to Johnny. I want to say this to Sue. Sue, you had an opportunity that you missed. Your daddy may have named you Sue, but you could have changed it. You could have changed it. He went through an entire life hating, because he wouldn't say, my name's not Sue, it's Betty. Now, listen, all kidding aside, this will probably, just so you know, this will probably go down in my history as the strangest topic that whoever Patrick ever did. But there's a point behind it. You get it? Do you feel it? The song made a lot of money, and it was a fun song, and all the guys in Folsom Prison, they had a good time with it, singing it. And I'm not against the song, but this is what was interesting, is when I was thinking about this talk, it wasn't until the very end that I wanted to somewhat weep, because I realized that he went through all of that. And yeah, some things are placed on us, and we feel like we can't get out of it. But he could have changed it the whole time. He could have just said, no, my name's not Sue. No, I'm not poverty. No, I may have been abused, but that's not my identity. That was my experience. And you may have walked into my life, and you may have put a name on me, like we do in society. We call them Muslims, we call them fags, we call them this, we call them that, and the names go on. And all the times you can change your... The angel got its wings, by the way, just so you know. That's the whole message. You have these names that are given. And here's the name that's given the most. The ones we give to ourselves. I could care less half the time what people call me. Like I always say, if you have something to say about me, just say it behind my back. Less pain. Then I have to look on honky-tonks for you. But in closing, this little trip down it, Western Lane, I do thank Johnny and this song, because it took me to a place that I really needed to remember. That all the things that I've held on to, all the things I wouldn't forgive and still aren't forgiving fully, that's the name that I put upon myself. And this is the name that we truly are. I am magnificent. I am that force that was there when all the cosmos were being made and created. No, I wasn't Patrick per se. I was just a part of that wonderful energy. So it's time we start naming ourselves good. And as hard as it is to let go of our story, it's time. And you have a strength that's inside of you. And this is not a time to run away from here. You have an ohana here as well that can support you in those times. This isn't a door that people walk into because, oh, I'm happy today, I get to go to CSL Kauai. No. This isn't a happy meal place, man. This is a place where we can walk in, and when you feel this sense of, oh, I'm dark, this is dark, that I can say, yeah, I bet it is. But guess what? I'm in the light here. I'm going to turn this on for us for a while. Until you can be in the light and know the light of yourself. I love you. Today's the day. This is the moment that we get to forgive ourselves for anything. For anything and everyone in every place. We deserve to be free. And that is the only way out of jail, my friends. The self-imposed prison, it's the only way out. And so I am so grateful that I have been called to this place of forgiveness, because I believe it is very, very needed on our planet right now. And so, I say goodnight. And if you want me, I'm always here. My name ain't Sue. It's God. Thank you.
I like him like that.
Wow.
I like that Western.
I'm going to take one more thing back. If you need anything tonight, don't call. Oh my God, it's live streaming too. It's nothing sacred.
My color of my dress and my jacket now. Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Who knew?
that was wonderful, honey. Oh my God, it was great.
Well, like air conditioning's on, fan, and everybody's fanning a little.
Consciousness just went up a whole lot. Okay, so this is our amazing time of affirmative giving.
Yes.
Thank you for everything. Bye, Leslie. And thank you for everything that you give to the center. It goes forth to heal and prosper everyone and everything. And I'm just grateful. Patrick and I are grateful. CSL Kauai is grateful for your support. So we have a little prosperity exchange affirmation in our program, and we can read it together and just take it into our heart, because it's giving is receiving, and as we give, we receive. That is if you believe the truth. So whatever you're giving today, just know it's coming back to you 100-fold in consciousness. Divine love
consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing it returns to me abundantly.
Yes. Okay, take it away.
Blessed am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Master am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Master am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Master am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am.
Oh, the I am that I am, and I am so grateful. Grateful for each and every one of us, for what's in this basket, but even more than that. This is God in action, but this consciousness that we have brought here today is such a celebration of prosperity, abundance, and the absolute consciousness of God itself moving through and as us. So we say yes. Yes, yes, yes. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate this abundance, not only here, but in each and every one of our lives. And I know that we walk out those doors today just filled with prosperity in health and wealth and relationships and in creativity. That's what all of this giving stands for. So I bless the law of circulation. I let it be. With gratitude in our hearts, we say, and so it is.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Yes. We have our wonderful greeters. There's Katie. There's Katie and Deb right over here. Deb in the red. Yes, and we have our meditation today was our wonderful Malia. Thank you so much. And in the back there, the three guys there. We have Marco, Michael, and Rob, who's been behind the camera. Live streaming.
The three stooges. No, the three guys.
Didn't you just hear her talk about names? Anyway, and then we have Loya and Stephanie with the flowers today. Thank you to beautiful ones over there, over here. And Stephanie has been also working in the bookstore, and thank you so much. We are always in need of volunteers, so anyone who has time and you want to work in the bookstore, there's a whole list. We have Donna Schumacher, who's not here today, who's the head of the volunteers, but we always need service. Service is really, as someone said, I don't even do it for you, I do it for me. That's really what service is about, and it gets you involved, and it's just perfect. And then we have Michael, who is also on sound back there. Thank you so much. And speaking of great sounds, we have a beautiful Amy.
Thank you so much.
And Roseanne, who's over there, standing there, staring at us. She is beautiful, and she does so much. She's a board member, and she does our programs weekly, and it's just, you name it, that she's here. And there is someone else I wanted to mention, but I cannot think of it. Gabi.
Consciousness on demand.
She always places herself on. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the people that have helped to clean up after service.
Yes,
it's really been helpful.
absolutely.
Thank you. Yes.
And Jeremy, thank you for that little Johnny stuff going on. You know, you get vulnerable enough to jump out there, and it just gets supported all the way along the way. So there we go. Is everybody feeling good?
Yes.
We're ready to go out there?
Yes.
Ready to give ourselves
Yes.
up? Let's do it. Let's stand and have a beautiful closing. And thank you, Rita, for all of your consciousness that you do. That's me.
I give thanks for life, from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's within all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun, always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you. You shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Mahalo, Rea Pua. Mahalo, Nui Loa. Mahalo, Pamamua. Eke kame kama kami ame kambo. I give thanks for we are those creators. I give thanks for we are our own liberators. I give thanks for you. You shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you.
Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo for being here today, for this amazing service, for lifting our consciousness even higher today, lifting the consciousness of the world. I know that's what we've done, and I know as we go forth from here, we take everything, that spirit, that life, that light within us, and we share it to even a higher level. I know that, I claim that, I know, and I know we are perfectly unfolding in every single solitary moment. Our lives are perfectly unfolding in creativity and abundance, in relationships, and all that is good because of who and what we are, and I know that we just let it out. So I just give thanks, and I just release my word. I release it as law, as we say together, and so it is.
Thanks for life, from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's within and all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun, always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. I give thanks for I am unconscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you to shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you.
Yes.